Welcome back. So today's video is just very straightforward garden maintenance. So I've got a few plants that I really need to move. Recently I did a tidy up of a corner in my garden, and I've been looking around and noticing lots of different things that need moving. So the current location is probably not the best place for it. So there's a number of things that I want to move into the corner where I've just tidied up.
I'd completely forgotten about this fern, so whilst I was cutting back these leaves, I remembered that I had the fern here. Whilst it's fine in the spring, all summer it is hidden, so I'm going to take out the fern and maybe move it to a more appropriate location. So I'm going to take it out.
Right, so having taken this out, I just need to cut away some of the fronds that have gone over, tidy it up. Of course, this will die back over the winter and come back in the spring. Just see some new growth here, and if I turn around here, new fern here as well, but I'll tuck that in altogether. Right, in this same corner I have a really beautiful fern just here. Again, it's quite smothered, but it does seem quite happy. So I think that will stay for this season, but I will think long and hard about what I can do to add interest in the early spring that will die back before the phlox then come out. So I'm going to think on it. I won't do anything at the moment to remove this fern here. However, there is another fern which is beautifully variegated. When I move the calla lily leaves, is this fern here. Right, I've pulled the fern out. It's so beautiful, the leaves, really, really gorgeous. Something has obviously eaten one of the stems here, or the leaves on the stems. That is the name of this particular fern. It grows between 50 and 70 centimetres in part shade to shade, and I think it should be okay in my zone to leave in the ground over winter. It is a quite protected area over in the corner where I'm moving this to, so I think it should be fine over winter. I did the area up a little bit. I've taken some more of the calla lilies leaves just to kind of allow a bit more light to get into the Solomon's seal or Jacob's ladder plant there. At the back I think I've got a lily of the valley as well, which wasn't getting much light. So I have also just cut some of the dead leaves away from the bottom here, so hopefully this area will look a little bit better for the end of summer. Also, just worth a mention, I've got an old iron fireplace here, and I thought it'd be really fun to have some plants that would make it look as if it was flames in the fireplace. So I had some nasturtium seeds, and I thought, oh, I'll throw some of those in and it will make it look like flames. But unfortunately, it just kept growing and growing and growing and growing and growing all the way, and it does not look like a fireplace. So I'm going to cut this back and move the planting area um, out and maybe put something else in that corner. Right, here I am back in this corner which I've recently replanted, and I'm a bit annoyed at myself because what I hadn't realised is that I should have looked a lot harder for some of these plants in the garden that needed moving, because this variegated fern here grows up to 60 centimetres, and this one here grows to about 40 centimetres. So really this one needs to move a little bit along so that I can place this one maybe behind it. Um, I'm going to attempt to gently move that one. It should be fine because it was only recently planted, and move that along. Now, you'll also notice in this corner I do have other ferns which have settled in beautifully because these were moved earlier. And the fern that I have dug up, this one here, is very similar in shape and form to these ones. So I don't think this particular one will add any further interest in this area. So I'm going to look for a new location for this one. Come out pretty easily. Let me just dig this area over, which will make it a lot easier then to put both of these plants in at the same time. Okay, so I have also got for this area is some hellebores. Now, hellebores are beautiful in the springtime. So in the shops at the moment, you've got these smaller specimens, which, if planted now, should get really lovely and established, ready for blooming in the spring. So hellebores like dappled shade or a woodland setting. So I think here would be perfect. It's just I'm going to put one at the top here and then two at the bottom, because I think three together may eventually become a bit overcrowded. So I'm going to place these ones in now. I'm just not sure in which combination I should do that in. I think I'll separate the pink ones, put one of the pink at the top, and then have the two different colours at the bottom. And make sure to put the ticket. So this one is a Hellebores hybridis double water lily. So it's a hybrid hellebore water lily. It gets up to 45 times 45 height and spread, well drained soil, part shade or full shade. So it's an evergreen perennial with large star-shaped cream and pale pink flowers in the spring. This particular one here is a pink spotted double. Again, very pretty. Exactly the same size, same information, 45 times 45, full sun, part shade. Double pink, speckled, centered flowers winter and spring. So this one is a double white picotea. In this area, which is mostly my fern bed here, I will be moving this white phlox. I did place it here a number of years ago, and I think although it looks quite happy there, it's quite in the shade, it just doesn't go with this particular arrangement. So everything is quite low level, and then there's this big plant in the middle. So whilst it's still flowering, I really didn't want to reduce it and move it, because this will then, once I do lift it, will create a space to place the fern, which I have here, in this position. And I think it would work because this particular fern, I don't have very similar ones in the immediate area. Okay, so though it's a difficult watch, I have moved plants in the summer before. Um, they do take time then to establish ready for flowering the following year. So don't get too distressed, the plant will be fine. So you could see they're almost finished flowering. So I stopped the camera rolling for a little bit because it really did need some brute force. But that is because you could see how well established this plant had become. I've got quite a few of the roots up, which is really good. So be ready to move, which I'm going to do really quickly. The least disturbance, the better. The quicker you can get them replanted, the better. You will be much happier. Right, the phlox is now in its position. I've moved it super fast. I have added a lot of compost and manure. I'm going to water it in really well, along with all the other plants. This area, I think the phlox will do quite well. There's lots of room for it to grow because you saw that it was about 90 centimetres to a metre. In front of the phlox, I am going to place this perennial Anemone Serenade here. Again, I think it will look really pretty, especially for late summer interest and early autumn. Okay, so I've watered this area in, but I just wanted to show you this plant. Those of you who joined me previously will know that I was going to place this in the new corner, but this was the original place that I'd intended it to go into once the phlox was out. So I'm going to pop that one in and see what it looks like. Okay, it's a lot trickier, this hole, because there's quite a lot of roots, which I will just take some of them out, which will allow me to get a deeper hole. this is not doing any harm at all. In this sunny border here, I have a gap. I've just placed a pot in this back section temporarily because I really want to think about what to place there, because I have a rose, a climbing rose, Mary Delaney, which will get to about 12 foot. So I may always put a pot there just to fill the gap until the climbing rose has a bit more time to establish. But in front here, I do have quite a bit of space, which I would like to place something quite light and airy. So I do have here a Salvia Amnestad pink. So at the back, I have a purple one. So I really wanted a pink one, so I've got the pink. And this one here is called Salvia Kisses and Wishes, which is a pink variety. Now I do have a purple variety of this one, which is doing really well. So I'm going to put both of these plants together in this back corner. One thing I have mentioned previously on videos is that although most of my plants do make it through the winter, I find that these salvias sometimes don't make it. So I try my best to take some cuttings, and I will probably dig these back out in the October and place them into pots and keep them somewhere just slightly warmer in a frost-free area. So a quick review, I had moved the fern, both ferns really, and now they're in that position. I've planted 3 hellebores, nice young ones, which hopefully in the spring will bloom beautifully. And then we'll move to the other sections just as a recap. So here we have the Houttenia flame, which I've placed in here, and the fern next to it. Just come out a little bit. So I removed the phlox, white phlox from here. As you recall, it was quite tall, and we'll go and see where I've placed that. Last but not least, I have a Love and Wishes salvia, and also a pink Salvia Amnestad. Okay, that's it for today. I hope you found this video useful and informative. It's just day-to-day stuff in the garden. Please do subscribe if you'd like to join me next time. Hit the bell button. Please do continue to make any comments you like, and I will get back to you. Take care now. Bye.